Do you ever feel like the villain in your story? In my next video, I'm going to tell you the 5 ways that you could be sabotaging your happiness.
I think that people should be able to achieve what they want and happiness without compromising who they are.
What does courage look like? Is having that fear and you still take the action anyway. Hi, I'm Alison Robertson. I'm a certified solution-focused life coach. I'm a television actress and the author of the book ENOUGHNESS-the Simple Truth to Embracing You, which Forbes tapped as the top 7 books to help you help yourself. On my channel, I talk about all things about the creative brain and how to have confidence. Now, if you like my content, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, so you don't miss any of my content that comes out every Wednesday. And if you think you would like to work with me, then click the link below. Set up a time. I offer free discovery calls. I love to help entrepreneurs, creatives, actors, artists, anybody get what they want and feel confident about it. So let's get started. Happiness. Something everybody wants, but sometimes it just sort of like floats away from us, right? I know sometimes happiness is a habit that we sometimes push away. I said in the beginning, do you feel like you're the villain in your own story, chasing it away? Well, I want you to not sabotage your happiness. I want everyone to be happy. There's ever some days you wake up and you think, it's just an off day. It's just an all wrong day. I just want to be happy. I want to be a little bit more happy. What if I gave you 5 things that you might be doing, maybe subconsciously, that is chasing away that happiness? Happiness is a habit, remember. It's something that we can create more of. And if we become aware of it, then it can become more abundant. So let's get started. Number 1, for me, out of the top 5, would be excuses. We all do it. We all make them. And we all think tomorrow would be a better time to do our to-do lists. So excuses. We put off, I'll do the laundry tomorrow. I'll go to the grocery store tomorrow. I'll make that phone call. I'll finish that project. I'll pay that bill. Well, don't do that anymore because that does drain our happiness. Do it now. Don't wait because it's going to make you feel good that you accomplished something. So don't wait till tomorrow. Don't push it off. Get to it now. Stop making excuses. We all do it, but don't do it anymore. It zaps your happiness. We just talked about excuses and not wanting to look back and regret. Well, number 2 for me on zapping our happiness or sabotaging our happiness is comparison. Now, this is a big one, and there isn't anyone that doesn't do this. We compare ourselves to others. We compare our success. We compare someone's life. We compare what we are doing with somebody else. I always say, especially with social media, it's very hard not to do this because we're scrolling through and we're seeing someone's great meal or someone's great vacation or their great kids or their great life. But remember, this is someone's best moment. And I always say, don't compare someone's outsides to your insides. That's really unfair because that is their best moment, their best picture, their best slice of their life. And you're comparing your whole world, your insides. Insides are messy. Insides have a lot of feelings. Insides have lots of working systems. Outsides are just sort of flat, right? Presentational. Don't do it to yourself. Don't make that comparison. The way to combat that so you don't sabotage your happiness is to make sure that your goals are in line with what you want, with what you want. The only person I want you maybe comparing yourself to is you. The only thing I want you doing is being a better version of yourself today than you were yesterday. That's the only pressure I want on you, is you being a better version of you. So no more comparing your insides to someone's outsides. Number 3 for sabotaging your happiness. I'm really guilty of this one. Taking on too much. Taking on too much responsibility, taking on too much social, taking on too much responsibility for me. Taking on too much can drain our happiness. Taking on too much can fatigue us during the day. We have to be realistic about what we can get done, what we want to do. This is a big one for me. I write about this in my book. What we get to do versus what we have to do, right? Get to has a much more positive connotation than what I have to do. So if you're conscious about what you take on and it follows with, I get to go to the grocery store, I get to clean my house versus I have to. Do you hear the energetic shift of positivity versus negative? So I want you walking around taking responsibility for how much you're taking on. So you get to do those things versus I have to do those things. But make sure you're not biting off more than you can chew. Piggybacking on what I just said about getting to versus have to, number 4 is negativity, being negative. Look, it's not just speaking negative or sounding negative or always seeing the glass half empty, but it's being around negative people or being in a negative environment. You can forget happiness does not live where it's negative, but negative, either being in your mindset or being around negative people, will drain whatever you've got going on. But remember, negativity, just like happiness, is a mindset, is a habit. So you have to become conscious of the words you're using, or the people you're hanging around, or how everything's always pessimistic. So really get conscious and listen to who's around you, what's around you, what's the words, how are you talking to yourself? Because those things will have an impact on who you are, how you behave, your bank account, your environment. So really try to watch your negative talk, the negative people around you, and just try to turn it around and try to find out how the glass is half full and be more optimistic about things. That'll increase your happiness. And the last item for not sabotaging your happiness is number 5, is to give yourself more credit. Give yourself credit where it's due. If you've accomplished something, whether it's big or small, give yourself a pat on the back. Take credit for that. Be proud of that. Remember, being grateful for what you have right here, right now, makes you enough. That's my definition of enoughness. And that is you giving yourself credit for where you are right now. So many times we overcome a little obstacle, or we achieve something small, but we don't make a big deal out of it. So what? It wasn't that big of a deal. Sure it was. You accomplished it. So give yourself credit where it's due. Don't downplay it. That will for sure increase your happiness. I hope we're ready to shift from villain to hero in your story. And here's a wrap-up of the 5 things I think that could be stealing your happiness and sabotaging it. 1 is excuses. 2 is comparing yourself to others. Number 3 is taking on too much. Number 4 is negativity. And number 5 is not taking the credit that you deserve. I hope these helped. Remember, happiness is created by you, constructed by you. It's a feeling that's inside of you. No one can just hand it to you. It's something that is within your control. Thank you so much for watching my video, and if you like what you saw, be sure to hit that subscribe button and that like button so you can see my other videos. And if you want to learn more about me and see if you can work with me, go ahead and jump onto my links, see if you can set up a discovery call, but be sure to go onto my website and get a free copy of my book, Enoughness, The Simple Truth to Embracing You. And I look forward to hearing from you and seeing you.